That's a lot of birds. Merry Christmas, guys. It's me, Douglas, and I want to talk to you guys today about a song that I hear kind of a lot during Christmas time, and we sing it at my church. We have this chili cook-off thing that we do at my church, several weeks before Christmas, and we always sing this song, the 12 Days of Christmas. It's just really kind of a fun, silly thing that we do. Like, we've got these 12 different tables set up, and the people are sitting there eating their chili, and we're singing this song, but when the part of the song comes to your table's part, everybody has to stand up and sing their part, and then sit back down when their part is done. It's really fun. There's one table that has to sing, like, every single part. And it's kind of a long song, because it's like you sing one part, like you sing a small part for the first day of Christmas, and then as you get all the way up to the 12 days of Christmas, you just keep adding each day, and you got to say them all. So like at the beginning, you say, "On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree." And then on the second verse, you gotta say the next thing and the last stuff you said. So like, "On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree." And then you gotta like go on all the way down the line. And like I said, the whole thing is like, if you do every single verse, it's super long, but I'll sing you the last verse so you can hear each day's gift. I guess I already sang you the first verse and the second verse, but here's how the last verse goes when you've got all the gifts. It goes like this. It says, "On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 12 drummers drumming, 11 pipers piping, 10 lords a-leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree." It's a pretty fun Christmas song, and it might just be a silly song about somebody giving their true love like way too many birds. I think it's like 23 birds. Or it might be something more, and it certainly can be something more than that. There are some people who say that this song was used by Christians who were persecuted, and it was used to teach kids about 12 very important gifts that God gave us. Some people say it was specifically persecuted Catholics that used this song to teach stuff from the catechism, stuff that they wanted their kids to know. Other people say it was just persecuted Christians in general. But they say that these 12 different gifts on these 12 different days secretly represent a much more important gift from God to us than, 2 turtle doves. Like, for example, I've heard that people say that the 12 drummers drumming represents the 12 points of the Apostles' Creed, or I've also heard people say that, they could represent the 12 tribes of Israel. So the next thing is the 11 pipers piping. And this one's interesting because this one reminds us of the 11 disciples. Now, I said 11 disciples because there were 12 disciples, but one of them, Judas, betrayed Jesus. So the 11 pipers piping represents the 11 faithful disciples. The 10 lords a-leaping represents the 10 commandments. The 9 ladies dancing, that represents the 9 fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. The 8 maids a-milking, a milkmaid was someone who milked cows. And the 8 maids a-milking represents the 8 people who were blessed that Jesus talked about in the beatitudes, the 8 beatitudes. Blessed are the poor in spirit, those who mourn, the meek, those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, the merciful, the pure in heart, the peacemakers, and those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake. The 7 swans a-swimming could represent, the 7 sacraments that the Roman Catholic Church and some other churches observe. Or it could be 7 spiritual gifts listed in the book of Romans. There's lots of spiritual gifts listed all over in the Bible, but in the book of Romans, there's a passage where it talks about 7. Prophecy, ministry, teaching, exhortation, giving, leading, and compassion. And there are also different translations of those 7 gifts, but they all pretty much mean the same thing. And the 6 geese a-laying represent the 6 days of creation. Now, you might have heard the 7 days of creation because it is kind of 7 days. On the 7th day, God rested. But in the first 6 days of creation, God made everything in the universe. The 5 golden rings represent the first 5 books of the Old Testament. Sometimes that's called the Torah or the Pentateuch. It's Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. The four calling birds, which actually in the earliest versions of this song, it was collie birds. And collie is a word that doesn't really get used anymore, and it means black. So four black birds. But more recently, it's been changed to calling birds. And the four calling birds represent the four Gospels, the first four books of the New Testament. And the three French hens represent faith, hope, and love. Or maybe you've heard it, faith, hope, and charity. In the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, Paul talked about love. And at the end of that chapter, he talked about three very important and very enduring virtues, faith, hope, and love. And the two turtle doves represent the Old Testament and the New Testament, both incredibly important. And the most important gift of all is the partridge in a pear tree, which represents Jesus Christ. And this one's interesting because a partridge is a kind of bird that the mommy bird will lay down her life for the baby birds. And there aren't a whole lot of animals that will do that. And that's what Jesus did for us, but like way more so. And it's, partridge in a pear tree. Jesus died on a cross. You could say that he died on a tree for us. Now, like I said, it is possible that this is just a silly Christmas song. It's possible that it wasn't originally meant to help people remember the many gifts that God has given us. But even if it wasn't originally meant to do that, it can now. The most important thing this Christmas season and every Christmas season is Jesus Christ. He's the reason for the season. And for me, a good Christmas song is a song that reminds me of the greatest gift ever. And this song can do that. It can remind me of the greatest gift ever, which is Jesus Christ, but it can also remind me that there are many, many other gifts that God has blessed us with. Now, it's called the 12 Days of Christmas because there are many churches that observe a season called the 12 Days of Christmas that starts on Christmas and then ends in January, 12 days later on a day that they call Epiphany, where they celebrate, where the Magi, the wise men, came and gave 3 gifts to Jesus. So if this Christmas season you hear this song or you sing this song, I hope that you will remember the many, many gifts that God has blessed us with. And most importantly, you would remember the gift of Jesus Christ, the most important gift ever. Hey guys, I hope you liked this video. And like I said, it might be that this is just a song about somebody giving their true love, like 23 birds. But whether it is that or it is something much more special and important, it can help us to remember the most important thing this Christmas season. And it's totally possible that maybe you heard that, the 6 geese a-laying were, they represent something that I didn't say, and that's fine. What is most important this Christmas season is to remember the most important gift given ever, and that is the gift of Jesus Christ. God so loved the world that he sent his one and only Son, so that whoever believes in him will not perish, but have eternal life. That's the best gift ever. And God has given us so many other gifts as well. And this Christmas season, we can remember all the gifts that God has given us. And most importantly, remember the gift of his Son, Jesus Christ. Merry Christmas, guys.